Hello and good afternoon from your Co-op Community Stadium. I'm Shaun Cashmore. I'm joined today by Leek, Fogarty, and you are with us for this Southern Premier League central fixture between Leamington and AFC Telford United. Lemington come into this game following a midweek victory over Stourbridge. The Breaks came back from a goal down to take all 3 points with a 2-1 victory. Tuesday was the first time Leamington had played since being dumped out of the FA Trophy at the start of the month. The following league fixture away at Needham Market having been postponed due to Storm Bebet. So that means that in terms of home form, Leamington come into this game unbeaten in their last 5 with wins in their last 4, and that is form that today's opponents Telford will need to be wary of. But with that said, the Bucks have scored in each of their last 5 away fixtures. Telford and Leamington, of course, no strangers to each other, having both been relegated from the National League North last season. The Bucks currently sit below the Breaks in the table, but only by 2 points, with both teams having played 12. On Tuesday night, the Bucks also picked up a win, dispatching Alvechurch at home, 1-0 thanks to Jordan Piggott, and a 1-0 win. This was in fact the first time Telford have put back-to-back wins together this season. They'll be keen to make it 3 on the bounce here today. Well, we're underway, so Telford get us underway and straight away go long up towards Theo Street. Theo Street sends one long and high up towards the Telford back line, where Landers just tries to flick on a header as well and try and find the feet of Callum Stewart. Cleared away down the line by the Bucks, where Jack Lane will just take a neat touch but just evades his second touch, and it'll be out of play for a throw into Telford on the right hand side. Quickly taken throw in towards the penalty area, snapshot across the face of goal, and it's all the way through over to the right hand side. But straight away it was Montel Gibson who just got onto that throw into the Leamington penalty area. Had a little bit too much space to afford there, Luke, because he just gambled in towards the near post.
Yeah, he's lively in the channels, Montel. He's a good player. He's get hold of him quickly.
All in white this afternoon, Telford, and they take the throw in quickly. Back towards Penley. Penley chips one into the channel again. They seem to be targeting Quainer over on this right-hand side. He heads it away, but the cross comes in anyway. Meredith takes a touch at the far post. Telford a throw, and Telford bury it. Well, Meredith took a bit of a heavy touch at the back post. I don't know if he got a shout or not, but either way, Telford have taken the lead through Byron Moore. And their play came down this right-hand side. They lofted a ball in towards the far post. Meredith took a touch where maybe he should have cleared his lines first time, and Byron Moore jumped on him, robbed him of possession, and then fired one past the despairing dive of Callum Hawkins.
Yep, exactly as you describe it. Should never have had a touch. Just had to clear that. I don't think he got a call, but he had a lot of time to clear that up. He just could have put it out of play, but he's tried to have a touch, had it robbed off him, and it's an easy finish. Very disappointing. Very disappointing.
Well, Dan Meredith just looked up at the sky slightly. I think he knew that the mistake was his, and well, he sang his praises in the opening exchanges, but quite often is the curse of the commentator. It's just a heavy touch, wasn't it, from Meredith, that unfortunately means that Leamington in these early exchanges are 1-0 down. Leamington just can't seem to maintain the possession inside opposition half at the moment. Now a loose header is given straight to Gibson. Gibson bears down, has a shot, seems to hit an arm, and it's going to be a free kick right on the edge. And wow, the booking seems harsh. It definitely hit Lane's arm, but it wasn't an outstretched arm or a deliberate handball by any stretch of the imagination. So Steisch will stand over this. Of course, scored that fabulous goal against Leamington in the Birmingham Senior Cup final. What can he do from all of 20 yards out? Steisch stands over it. Right-footed it'll be. It's up, it's round the wall, and it's wide. It's a couple of yards wide, really, as well. I don't think it was as close as it looked. Callum Hawkins just seemed to watch it wide as well. Steisch seems to think it was closer than perhaps it looked from here, but either way, Leamington escape. Jack Lane in the book. Leamington 1-0 down with just over 20 minutes gone here at your Co-op Community Stadium. Telford will have this corner, and it'll be an in-swinger this time, as it'll come from the right-hand side. Callum Hawkins raises his gloves to try and make some space for himself. The corner goes towards the far post. It's well headed away by Edwards. Flicked in towards Dinanga, and then came off a Telford body as they tried to help it towards Callum Hawkins' goal, but it's well over the top. It remains Leamington 0, Telford 1, and like we said, that goal coming courtesy of Byron Moore. Again, Leamington conceding inside the first 5 or 6 minutes, back-to-back fixtures at home, and I'm sure that'll be a frustration to Paul Holleran. Landers on the ball just outside the box, fends it to Quainer on the left-hand side. Quainer, a bit of space. Will he have a shot? Yes, he does. Straight at Hall. Just got a big punch to it, really, just to make sure that he tipped it over his crossbar. But it opened up for Quainer, and he decided to have a go from 25 yards. And it was a rasping drive, but it was straight at Hall, and he made sure that he tipped it over his bar. Lemington will have the corner in towards the box where Ed drives, it's off the line by Barnett's header. But it was a good delivery in by Landers. Barnett arrived almost in slow motion, just headed one towards the far post, and the Telford man on the line just headed it away for another corner. Landers reloads, sends it in again towards the far post where Barnett arrives. Barnett can't quite get this one on target. It drops down towards Walker. Walker can't clear his lines. It's off the body of Adam Walker, the Leamington captain. They clear it at the second attempt, and it's only as far as Meredith who'll send it back forward towards Stewart. Stewart can't bring it down. Now Denangra is over the top and beating the offside trap. Denangra bears down on Callum Hawkins. Denangra just wide. Well, he should do better than there. Ricardo Denangra with a gilt edge opportunity to make it 2-0 to the Bucks, and he has not hit the target. Again, it was Leamington on the attack. They'd packed the box for the corner. The ball had been recycled in, and then all of a sudden, Denangra beat the offside trap. He was one-on-one with Hawkins. Should hit the target from there, but didn't manage to text Callum Hawkins. It stays Leamington 0, Telford 1. It's a free kick to Telford. It'll be taken by keeper Hall. He sends it long, deep in towards the Leamington penalty area. Headed away by Lane, only as far as Stiche. Stiche, neat touch, just glides round, has a go. Great save by Hawkins. Might have been drifting over anyway, but Hawkins wasn't sure, and he had to get a glove to it, and at full stretch.
Yeah, good save. Again, it's the second ball that's dropped in there. We haven't won it, and this has been the problem today, hasn't it? In our box, we've not looked as secure as we normally are.
Walker will have the free kick just south of the centre circle inside the Leamington half, and he angles one towards the far post where it's headed in towards the far post but easily collected by Callum Hawkins. And again, Leamington try and get the ball forward quickly. It's long, it's high, it's up towards Shorrock, who's in off the bench, but it's easily headed away by the Telford back line. Potentially it's where Leamington need to play out from the back a little bit better, but it's collected in midfield by Clark. Clark rides the challenge that was put on him by Piggott and sends it back towards Street. Street in towards Landers. Landers, good touch out towards Meredith, who's further advanced from right back, and now Walker reverses it through to him. Walker in towards Stewart. Stewart, goal side of the back line. Stewart brought down, and the referee has pointed to the spot.
Oh no, that's the other way.
Leamington have been given a penalty. The Telford players are apoplectic at both linesman and referee, but the referee.
That's a foul on the Telford player.
Well, the referee, Elliot Hadrell, has awarded Leamington a penalty, and the Telford players are not happy about it. The Telford staff are not happy about it. There's a Telford player in the book. They're still complaining to both linesman and referee. It looked harsh. Callum Stewart got goal side of his man. He seemed to square up to him, and both seemed to come together on the ball. Stewart went to ground, but either way, Leamington have a penalty, and they have a gilt edge opportunity to get themselves back on level terms in this game. It'll be Callum Stewart, right-footed, against Brandon Hall. Stewart steps up, right-footed, and fires it into the back of the net. Callum Stewart gets his 5th goal of the season, and he drags Leamington level here at Urquhart Community Stadium. It's Leamington from the spot. It's Callum Stewart with the goal. It's Leamington 1, Telford 1.
Well, good penalty, but the less said about the award of it, the better. I mean, Callum Stewart's, I think he's fouled the centre half, and the referee's got it the wrong way around. But
well, it's dubious with a capital D, isn't it, that penalty decision? But Leamington will take it. But you know, Paul Holleran is always as honest as they come in his post-match comments, and I'm sure he will be the first to admit that maybe Leamington have erred on the side of luck, really, with that penalty award. Clark raises his left arm, swings it in towards that area, in towards the far post. Nobody gambled, but Walker wasn't sure. He didn't have a shout, and that Leamington crowd behind the goal are trying to draw the ball now into the back of the net. It's going to be a corner to Leamington. Landers goes across to take it. Forward come the likes of Lane. Forward come the likes of Theo Street. Come on, you breaks is the cry from the crowd. Landers, right-footed, swings it in towards a good area where it's headed wide by Williams, I think it was. But again, it was a good delivery by Landers, and it's, well, not to do Williams a discredit, but potentially he's not the one you want on the end of it in that position.
You can feel it. I think there's still something in the game here.
Hawkins takes the goal kick short into the feet of Jack Lane. Lane. Long, angled ball up towards Stewart. Stewart can't collect. He's well marshalled at the back. That's not the ball that Stewart wants to receive. He wants it to feet. Telford try and break. Gibson over the top. Clark turns on the afterburners just so he makes sure he can chaperone it back to Theo Street. And then Leamington try and make a little bit of a mess of it at the back, but it's going to be collected by Hawkins and the danger is averted. Can Meredith keep it on this right-hand side? Yes, he can, because he's got pace for days. Meredith tracks down the right-hand side. can't foul him there. Meredith still going, tries to get his cross in, blocked by Fox, and it'll be collected again by Meredith. Meredith, is he going to try that little turn again? No, he's not. He's going to try and feed in Landers. Landers receives. He gets his cross in towards the near post. Stewart's there all the way across the 6-yard box, but it's been adjudged to have already gone out for a goal kick. Great play by the likes of Meredith and Landers, though. It was half a chance had it stayed in, but either way, it's going to be a goal kick to Telford, and we've got just about 2 minutes of the regulation to go here at Ucart Community Stadium. Meredith with the ball above his head with this throw-in. Is there a chance left in this game? No, there's not, because that is the final chance. I've got 5 minutes of stoppage time on my watch. We should have played 6, but either way, the referee has decided that enough is enough, and the thoughts of Luke Fogarty next to me.
Typical game for this league, I thought. 1-1 about right. Both of them are still finding their feet in the league and coming to terms with it, and the only way is up really from now on for Leamington particularly. Telford, they're always going to be up there. I still don't doubt that they won't be up there challenging by the end of the season. On
the balance of play here, draw probably a fair result, you'd have to say, but it's finished here at Ucart Community Stadium. Leamington 1, Telford 1. We'll speak to you again soon. You have a good weekend, and that's all from us this afternoon.
So Paul, you said Tuesday the game today was going to be like a typical non-league game. I think you got that, a very tough game there against Telford, and you've come away with a point. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it was. It was a really good game, I thought. It's summing up, I think, first half they're sort of 4-4-2 got the better of us. We didn't play well at all. They played well. The goal sadly is another mistake, which is a reoccurring thing at the moment. But no, our quality in possession was nowhere near. Listen, there's an element of that was us, element them. We just, second half then we focused on, the bottom line is, there's 2 banks of 4 which drop quite deep. So our deep line midfield player has got to dictate the game. And then that's what started happening in the second half. We're brave enough to give him the ball. He spins out then he's got to draw one of their midfield players out to find the pockets behind it. That's what happened more second half. And listen, we were certainly the better side second half, but they've defended resolutely. You can see that they're really getting, Telford now are beginning to, as I touched on Tuesday night, when you get relegated and a lot of new players, it takes time, and you can see, I can sort of see Kevin Wilkins' DNA in that side at the moment. I can see it getting there, so they'll be all right, they will, just like Starbridge will. So listen, at the end, we've changed it at the end because for as much as the probing we did, we haven't worked the keeper enough. And I just thought at the end, we got the 2 big boys off to just go with a little bit more dynamic. Could the pace of Callum down the middle cause a problem? And in the end, it has. It's good play again. We fed him in. I was too far away. I could see Telford complaining about the decision. I don't know. But once you're in, get the other side of a centre half in the penalty box. Then as a defender, it's a tough one. You know what I mean? It's a tough one. But like I say, I didn't have a good angle on it. But I think anyone that's watched the game today would say that was about right. I think as a game, I think we certainly deserve something for our efforts, and you couldn't argue that Telford deserves something for their efforts. And I'm I'm disappointed with the first half. I'm disappointed with the mistake. I'm disappointed that we weren't clever enough to see the space and utilise it. But I'm pleased second half that let's have a little sort out. And I was pleased that we then dominated the ball for long periods. Got into some really, really good areas, and we were thwarted by good defending and probably a little bit of lack of quality from us. But I thought it was I think the 2 games have been 2 really good games. We've come away with 4 points. Would have took that because I think we all know that when the league properly gets going in February and March, they're 2 sides that'll be making some noises, I'd have thought.
You said there you were a bit disappointed in the first half, but Leamington did come out a bit better in the second half. What was the team talk like at half-time?
Well, that, like you say, the key thing was the space in front of our back 4 to their deep line midfield. That was the room, and that is where the rotation from us, Ewan especially, and it's certainly not Ewan. It's I just feel that our 2 centre halves, our full-backs, to come back into that area to try and pull Telford around. It was too easy for Telford to stop in the 2 banks of 4, so we had to do that, and we did that. I thought we did really well to start with. They're a threat all afternoon because the front 2 they've got with the other, but the front 2 at this level of football will give any back 4 a tough day, and they did today. But no, like you say, it's. I just think as players you play Tuesday night, and as a player you need to straight away start thinking, right, where can we exploit whatever. Now the other night the space was in front of their back 4 and in the wide areas because of their system. Today, the areas to exploit was that space in front of our back four, and we have to see that picture quicker. Once we got a grip of it half time and second half, we looked at a different team, and then we started pulling them around, and then we got in some good areas. So just as players, sometimes you want them to try and talk to them about this, and so a couple of the young boys and say, right, you have to see straight, get on the pitch and go, right, okay. After 2 or 3, we go, okay, there's my space, and utilise that space, and that's just something we can do a bit better on. But I'm certainly not going to moan about that performance today because this is. I like to see character. I like to see we weren't good first half. We've made a mistake. Telford were the better team, and then okay, then what are you going to do? What are you going to do now? And then we've adjusted, and I thought then we were the better side then. So that's really pleased me today because they're a good side.